So yeah, like I was saying, it's designed to really it's designed to help realtors market and advertise. I'm going to show you everything in a second here. There's a lot of automated listing marketing. There's a lot of social media content and tools, and there are a
Mhm.
lot of ways to get listings. And it's usually one of those three things that's going to interest a realtor. Uh,
Okay.
and maybe it's all three of those things. I'm not sure, but it's one of those three typically. And when you sign up, it's 150 a month. It's month to month. You actually get a 30-day free trial. If you have an agent ready to go, when you're signing up, you could literally have leads in, 24
So
hours.
am I going to take my agent that has a property that they're listing, and I'm like, hey, let me put the information in here, and then this is going to go out and bring leads in for buyers, or
Yes,
um,
that's one thing. Yeah. And I'm going to show you there are a lot of tools in there that'll help you get buyers. But that's the easiest way if you want buyer leads is to have somebody with a listing and run an ad on it, right? So, but let's just log in and look at the system. Let's see here. So there's kind of the area on the and navigation bar on the left is really
mhm.
where it's like the work area. Listings, ads, PDF guides. We have 80 PDF guides, 40 for buyers, 40 for sellers. You're co-branded on all those. There's social
Okay.
media content that's kind of like soft reading, colorful, nicely written. It's just so you can turn it on and have stuff go to your social media without you having to fill it out. And we'll look at all this stuff. Landing pages, and you can create landing pages, and then you have print ways to get people to landing pages, or you can share them on your socials, or you can run ads through our ad
Okay.
page up there. And then a place for your client reviews, and that has a ton of lead capture too. So let's just go look at listings real quickly. And most of the time, for most MLSs in the country, we can auto sweep the listings in. If not, there's a button where you can click it and grab it. And it sits here. And then all kinds of things kind of happen, right? This whole list in white here is what goes on. We give you an overview, which is kind of like a checklist, but that checklist mirrors this list right here. And so we start at the top with Facebook ads, social media post, which is a free post, kind of like realtors know how to share things, but sharing something on Facebook is different from writing an ad that has a 15-mile radius and all that. The post is
Right.
free, the ad you pay for. You have tools for the seller social media. The nearby homeowner letter is the top tool we create for getting more listings. So if you're talking to an agent who wants more listings, you want to figure out how we're going to get this into the market. We create video scripts for people who are into social media and creating videos. We create single property websites, virtual tours, a whole open house marketing toolkit, and all this stuff like postcards and stuff. This typically sounds like what realtors have. They'll say, "Oh, I
Mhm.
have what," and many of them do, but what they don't have are call to actions. And call to actions are where you capture leads, right? So
Sure.
if you work for Remax or you work for Coldwell Banker or Sotheby's or whoever, you got some really sweet postcards. They're branded, they look luxury, there's your picture. And then there's this thing of call me, right? And you're probably aware people are not too interested in calling realtors all the time, but they want information all the time. And that's what we do. It's like, hey, you want some information? You want to find out about this open house? Click learn more. And at that point, we've got your name, email, and phone number, and we're auto delivering it to the agent and to you. So this is Facebook. This is how you write an ad on Facebook and Instagram. You just choose your property, you click on Facebook and Instagram, and you click create ad. This is a lot easier than actually doing it inside of Facebook. And this, we're using Facebook software, and we can, like I said, the name, email, and phone number is pre-populated from the Facebook profile. So nobody's typing stuff in. And that's what makes getting buyers very easy and very successful.
So is the realtor just giving me the MLS number, and that's where it pulls all this information with like the pictures and stuff, or do the realtors have to download the pictures and the content?
When you set up an agent, you put in their email address, and we take that and we reach out to our national database and we pull in all their listings.
Oh,
That
okay. Okay. So you get there. Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
and then it's just sitting here. You just click on the property, click on the green button, you say, I want to do a Facebook ad, and boom, there you go. You do have to connect. So here it says real estate test. You know, the agent should connect their social media account here so that this says, Joe the agent or whatever, right? Whatever,
Sure.
right there. This ad will also charge their business page. So they'll ideally have a credit card on their Facebook business account, and it'll reflect that sponsored by and charging their credit card. We by default set up a $35 ad for 7 days with a 15-mile radius of the city that the property is in. If you want, you can expand that. You can't shrink less than 15 miles.
Sure.
And you can increase the budget or decrease the budget, but it's got to be minimum $5 a day. So 5 times 7 is 35.
Yeah.
What I have seen around the country, just as an FYI, Facebook buyer leads cost $3 each. So depending on the kind of agent you're talking to, and also like your how you guys are going to work on conversion, I've heard from big teams that they convert 1 out of 70 Facebook leads. I also know a lady who is a client of ours who ran an ad in March in Maryland and has 3 active buyer leads and 1 listing from 1 ad for an open house just like this. So 7 days, $35, 3 buyers, active buyers that she's talking with, and 1 listing. That's the outlier. But in general, you capture a good amount of leads and you convert 1 or 2. You're not converting all of them. So
No, I know.
yeah. So social media posts. This is a free post. So the agent connects their social media accounts and the listing hits our system because it's automatically doing that now. And then we post it to their social media accounts like this, right? So this is actually Facebook. It's got text from the listing. It's got hashtags and emojis. It's got some pictures here. And if somebody clicks on it, we drive them to this page, which we also automatically created. So if they want more
That's
details,
the single website or whatever, single page.
this is actually the listing landing page. And
Okay.
so so it doesn't give a lot of details. If I want the details, I can either click this button that gets the name and email of whoever clicked it and delivers it to the agent and you, or I can just type in my stuff here, right?
Got it.
But I'm going to use the Facebook one. I'm just going to click it. And I guess here we've got it set for, okay, so it's requiring my phone number, which this is kind of a test account. I don't really recommend that, but then it flips over, and this is the single property website that we also automatically create.
Okay.
In this case, it looks like somebody uploaded a video, which you can do, and then it would look like that. And then it would have kind of all the content that you would expect. You as a lender would actually be co-branded underneath this agent box over here, like the preferred financing or something like that. There are a lot of PDF guides that are available on this single property website, which we also design. If you want to download one, you got to give us your information, and you, Norm, and the lenders are co-branded on these, right? So there are 80 of these. I think they can set which ones are going to show, some for buyers, some for sellers.
Okay.
And then all the kind of normal things you would expect. Also reviews, if agents have reviews, we put the reviews right here. And then any of their listings are also sitting here. So if they have a listing that's sold, or they got a open house or just listed, you can click on this and you kind of just go down this rabbit hole of everything that the agent has, right? So let's go back to where we were, which is the rest. So that was just a free automated post. If the agent connected their social media and a listing hit their system, all that stuff I just drove you through would have happened.
So what if the agent has a buyer? There's not really, is there stuff we would actually do in here for the buyer, or is this really only for sellers?
Do you mean to attract buyers?
Yeah.
Or,
To attract buyers.
well, to attract buyer, the number one thing
Yeah.
is you get the listing in here and you click a Facebook ad. Like that is the fastest, cheapest way of getting $3 leads with name, email, and phone number. Okay.
Okay.
That is, and I can show you other ways to get buyers, but nothing is more effective or as cheap as that.
Sure. No, I get it. In my ultimate goal is I don't need a seller.
Mhm.
I need a buyer because the buyer needs a loan.
No question about it. And I get that. But you
Okay.
also need a really solid partner, right?
Yeah.
And your real estate partners are going to never forget you if you start getting them listings. And that's why I'm showing you both sides of this system. Get their listings in here and run a Facebook ad, and you're probably going to have, you just do the math. If you're getting $3 leads, throw in $100 and you're going to have 33 leads, right? That's what will happen with name, email, and phone number.
And then, so then I get a lead that comes in, it now can drop to my CRM to start a
Yes.
drip campaign, or is that still in your system? Like, do
We
you
have
guys
our
still
own
do-
follow-ups here. So if
Okay.
you click down here, it says follow-ups. These are drip campaigns, and these are pretty good, actually. But you can go to your profile, and so can each agent, and you can connect your CRM right here. So
Okay.
the one thing that might be different for you, these are real estate agent CRMs. Sometimes there are different CRMs that I don't even know the names of that lenders use.
So what if my CRM's not on this list?
Exactly. Your CRM probably has a unique email address for you. Like, for instance, here's Follow Up Boss, which is a pretty popular one. If you were there, if you were a client of theirs, they might say, hey, Norm 12345678910 at followupboss.com. So it's a weird email address that's uniquely yours, and you paste it here and you save it, and that says, hey, anytime we get a lead for them, for Norm, send it there, and that goes to Follow Up Boss, and they go, oh, that's a lead, we're going to scrape it and drop it in your CRM and turn on the drip campaign. That's what, so we either have an API here, or there's Zapier and API Nation, which has a lot of solutions, or your CRM has a unique email address like that, and then you put it there.
Okay.
That's how it is. So the agent should do that, and you should do that, and you can both get copied on the leads. And just kind of, as an aside on that topic, a lot of lenders will say, let me jump on that buyer lead and make sure they're pre-qualified, right? Because that's your part of the deal. Because also you're adding value, right? They're not just calling leads and they're not sure. Now hey, they're ready to go. Why don't you set up an appointment? And so again, your value is increasing there. So that's that side of it. Let's get back and just
Does the realtor get a copy of the leads that came in, and
Yes.
I get a copy of the leads that came in?
Yes.
We both
Yep.
get copies of it.
Yeah.
And they'll never see something from another realtor. Like, they won't see that I've got
Exactly.
5 different realtors. Their profiles stay completely separate. They'll never see,
Exactly.
like, okay.
They don't see your umbrella account.
Okay.
So I just want to go through a couple more things on the listings. Again, I know we got distracted on the nearby homeowner letter because this gets listing leads, but you want to know about this because you want to say, I've got a good way to help you get listings. And a realtor their ears will just prick up. There's an e-flyer. This is something that can be blasted out. It captures buyer leads on top because you got an open house. If you click on that, you kind of know what's going to happen. And then if you click on this, you're going to go to a home valuation landing page. Like I said, we do create single property websites, virtual tours. There's a whole open house marketing toolkit. If somebody is holding an open house, try to market it 5 to 7 days in advance, and you will end up with dozens of leads. Running a Facebook ad would be part of that, right? Postcards. And I'll just say this is an aside, but you don't know our company. We've been here for 13 years, and our first tool was only one tool. We only had one tool for the market, and it was a one-click posting app for Craigslist.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long you've been in real estate, but Craigslist was a hotbed of lead gen 13
Yeah.
years ago when we started. And there used to be this company called Postlets, which I think was bought by Zillow, and they would put this big, it would look like a web page on Craigslist. It would be colorful with a template, and there's your home. And we took that design or that concept of making a colorful page, but embedding hyperlinks in it that would say whatever, like, get your home value or more homes in your area, go click here, and you drive them to either our landing page or our clients' websites. And that was tremendous at capturing leads. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because about 5 or 6 years ago, Craigslist didn't like all these ads. They didn't like what was happening on their site. So they just completely flipped their website around, and it made it very uncomfortable for realtors, and they left. It is still it's the number 16th most trafficked website in the United States. So your target market didn't go anywhere, but your competition left. And I'm talking to teams all over the country, all the time. And I just spoke to one about a month ago, and he said, we actually had to hire an ISA team strictly for our Craigslist leads because there are so many people there that want help. So it's just worth noting that might be something worth testing. I mentioned earlier that we have 80 PDF guide ads. Each lender is co-branded with each agent, right? So you won't see 5 agents on here. You'll see 1 agent and 1 lender. And there are buyer guides and there are seller guides. Just to, repeat myself, the cheapest way to get leads with name, email, and phone numbers on Facebook. If you don't have a listing and you want to use these and run an ad, you can. You actually have, if we click on market listing here or market, we can run a Facebook or Instagram ad. We can do a social media post. We can actually post these automatically for you. There's an e-flyer for your database. So if you blast it out on your CRM, they can download it, but they got to give you their contact information, print flyers, door hangers, and everything drives to a landing page.
Now, my tech level is actually more like Craigslist. So do you have on your videos of how to step by step how to set these up and how to do these, and there's a lot of people like me that it's been years and I still don't have great campaigns going out that I think could benefit. So
you might want to try ours. Honestly, I'll show you them. You actually, not only do we have that, but you have a link to our YouTube channel in the email that I sent you that you clicked on.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that's going to take you here, and I'll just show you what's here. That takes you to this page. And in the email, I say, get started. This is a home page, so I actually prefer to be on the videos page. So I do this call every 2 weeks, get started. It's for brand new clients. It's like, hey, turn this on, turn on the automation here, step by step, turn everything on so this thing just starts working for you.
Yeah.
Facebook and Google ads. I go through, here's how you create ads for buyers and sellers on Facebook and on Google. Okay. And then this one is top tools for more listings. And each of these is an hour long. And to get an agent to go through that, I'd say maybe 25% of our clients actually do that. Most of them don't. They click around, try to fish around, and they get
figured out
exhausted. Yeah. And if they figure out 1 or 2 tools, cool. If they had figured out 5 or 10, their business would literally be growing. But they don't want to invest that kind of time. And I understand we're all busy and we get phone calls and emails all day long. So, but you as a lender need to absolutely watch Get Started, because I had a call with a lender. It's probably 2 months ago. He goes, yeah, I signed up. I put 5 agents in there and only 2 logged in. Right. So the other 3 didn't even bother to log in. And I said, yeah, that sounds about right. And I said, another 2 that logged in, 1 is going to forget how to log in like 2 or 3 weeks. They're just going to forget. And you've got 1 person understanding the value of this platform. That's why I recommend to every lender and to every client, frankly, is watch it get started and watch all the things you got to turn on, right? It's actually to set up an account, it only takes like 5 minutes. There's 3 pages. I can show you in just a minute here. Like, here's where you go turn everything on. But if you don't turn it on, and a lot of agents don't, they sign up and they put their credit card in and the phone rings and they're like, oh, they're wandering off. And they will forget. And 6 months later, they'll go, why am I paying these guys? Because they never turned on any of the automation. And if they had, there would be stuff flying out all over the place and tools being emailed to them and all that. And that for you is value. If you had said, hey, let's get on the phone for 5-10 minutes and let's just put all these things together. And then if they forget about it for a week or two, it doesn't matter because we're communicating with them and we're copying you on that. So get started. I would definitely recommend watching that. Let's go back to the system. So we got PDF guides, and like you said, you may not understand how to do all this, but we're designed for realtors, Norm. And realtors are not tech savvy. They're just not, right? And so to create an ad for a PDF guide, you just click Facebook and Instagram ads and you click create ad and you type in the name of your favorite city and you click publish. That's how hard it is to create an ad.
Okay.
Which frankly is not very hard. I think everybody can do that one. And everything is kind of like that. It's copy or paste, click a couple buttons. If you make anything more than 3 clicks, it's just not going to get done. And
Can I like target more? So just throw out like healthcare workers in like for my Facebook ad, or educators in my Facebook ad, or is it just going to go 15 miles everybody?
let's see here. I'm going to type in. I don't know. My short answer is you cannot target like that. But let's just click through and have a look. So here, I live in Lafayette. And if I click on advanced options, it says targeting, and there's all these interests here that we're automatically.
Okay, so
So
can you click the one that right under target where it says people living in area? Where it says location target?
Yeah.
Click the drop down for the target.
Do you see this? These are the 4 here, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is just talking about who lives here and who's been in that area. What you're probably thinking,
new.
This is probably what you're thinking here.
Okay.
This is interest. So if I say golf is an interest. Now,
okay. So then what if I put school, education, and maybe like a county, that might direct more towards those people or not?
It may not. What it really require when you're saying that, like I'm interested in that, let's just say it was a high school, right? If I was following that high school, that might bring me there. That might pop me up in your interest, right? Or in your target. If you are maybe if you went and looked at it, Facebook would know. Like if I went and looked at that high school a couple times, they go, oh, this person's interested. They didn't click on anything, but they're interested. Sometimes these things help and sometimes they don't. This is our test account. So when I'm looking at this, I know we're not doing this by default because this would be a horrible ad to have all these things in here. My partner Scott often thinks that having Trulia and Zillow as an interest would make it a higher quality lead, right? And so our marketing guy throws this in here. But you've heard of Zillow. Have you heard of Trulia?
Yeah, I mean, isn't it just a vacation platform?
Might be, but it's actually the way I know it, it's not a vacation platform. It's actually a parallel company to Zillow that Zillow bought years ago.
Oh, okay.
So if you're putting in here like, hey, if they like Trulia, make it a target. Well, not a lot of people know about Trulia. I know about it because I'm in the industry. But do people follow Zillow? I think the people who follow Zillow might be realtors, not the average consumer. The average consumer knows I can go look on Zillow, but they're not tagging it here on Facebook. And that's why this can kind of not work for you. But I do want to say one more thing. This all is, you don't see it when you're doing it, but we have automatically checked a box that this is a special ad category on Facebook of real estate. And real estate does not allow you to target too hard because people create illegal ads when they can target too much. For instance,
I guess I understand, but I was thinking more like a VA ad if I could target veterans and not just everybody, like because it's only going to benefit. Or
yeah,
Hometown Heroes has specific
sure,
categories that they offer their assistance with, so I want to target them. I don't want to waste
yeah,
my dollars.
yeah. Well, I think it's worth testing, but I really don't know the answer on that. We've got clients that have been using Hometown Hero for years, so
Okay.
I just don't know what they're doing with that. Yeah. But that is Facebook, and it's definitely worth testing, for those kinds of things that you're doing. Also, just worth noting, if I click here, you might have your own guide. You might have a PDF that you want to give away and capture contact information. There is a place to do that here. I don't see it here right away, but
So I mean, and I can add it in there, and then it'll be there.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
And you'll be able to run an ad and drive people to it, and then you would get contact information whenever somebody wants to download it. Yeah. So that's PDF guides. There's a social section here. Not a lot of lead capture here, but definitely some helpful stuff. You connect your social media accounts, and I think there are over 50 real estate related topics. And these are soft conversational posts, right? Some about, kitchen design, bedroom design, outdoor living, all these things that are just nice to have on social media, but you don't want to do it by hand. You just tell us the days. It could be 7 days a week, it could be 1 day a week.
So the realtor can go in and select like
Yes.
20, and they'll drop the next 20 days. So they don't
They'll
have to
drop
go back
throughout the
every day.
year. They'll drop throughout the year. So underneath every one of these green things, which means that we've selected it, there's at least a dozen to 20 or 30 articles. So if you say, hey, I want inspirational quotes, and I want patios and decks, and I want upcycling, and I want kitchen design, that's what's gonna happen. If we click on eyeball here, this shows us all the articles that we're doing. So once you turn on that one section, it's just every week, whenever you said for us to do it, we're going to post these articles, right? And if you
I
want,
can tell it, like I could say, put out the motivational stuff on Monday, like motivational Monday, and it'll only go Mondays. It'll only
no,
do so.
no, that's great, but no, like that's just like we don't have that kind of. It's more like I don't even know the schedule, right? There's 50 different topics of what can go on here, including, and very important, we can auto post to your social media contents all of those PDF guides throughout the year with a landing page in front of it. And, like I said, you're co-branded on all of them. And you could say, hey, let's just click this and have these guys do it automatically. And it's going to your social media, it's pre-written, it's got a colorful image, and it's telling you, hey, do you want to talk about, things to be concerned of when you're buying a home or whatever. And you'll be on every one of those, and the agent will too. You can even, if you're in a Spanish speaking market, you can have us do it for you in Spanish as well. So
Okay, great.
yeah, so that's kind of the social page. Landing pages might be, well, actually, I know that our clients who did the Hometown Hero program, they definitely can create custom landing page. So you actually get free home values, you get new construction, you get down payer assistance, and you can edit these. So you, Norm, as you're setting people up, you might want to go in here and edit this for each agent and say, you know what, I want this to be about a unique program I am doing. So that if the agent uses it and they capture the lead, it's dovetailed to your business, right?
Okay.
So if you want to do, changes, you go to lead form text and you type in, whatever you want to type. And when you save it, it shows up here in this box on the right. And you can even change the photo. You could even right over here put a video. And I remember I did this for a Canadian office once. They were working with one loan officer, and they had a kind of a new national loan program in Canada. And so there's this video on the left, a little bit bigger than this blue box here. That was a realtor and a lender sitting in office talking about how they work together and how they're helping get these loans, and just explaining what the loan was. Now, that might be deeper than you want to do, but if you wanted to do that, you click custom page content, and you can say, hey, I'm going to snap in a video here, or I'm going to put in bullet points here, or I'm going to put in.
So the video, do I do the video through Canva and then put it in here, or that hit video, you actually record the video here?
No, you would create the video wherever you want and get it on YouTube, copy the YouTube link, and just click video here and paste that video link right there.
I do understand that. I know that part.
Okay,
I have done that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've all, got these cool smartphones, and that gets you halfway there, and, you click a button and it's on YouTube, and then you can use it here. And just worth noting, if you've got a client, an agent who is big into video, they like to do virtual tours or walkthroughs or neighborhood walk, just email me and I will tell you where you can leverage that. We have all kinds of areas where we can use that kind of that video content. So there's and so if you have a landing page, if you have a PDF guide, if you have a listing, well, now you've got the ability to run ads on our ads page to all of those things. And this is probably one of the most exciting parts of our platform for a lot of people. I just spoke to an agent last night. She's got a team, and she's probably spending $10,000 a month on advertising. She's spending $3,500 a month on Google ads, on Google buyer leads. And I said, how many leads are you getting for that kind of money? And she said, she doesn't really know. And I said, I'm going to assume you're not getting more than 50 leads a month, because I've never heard of any company delivering that kind of stuff. And she's like, yeah, I don't know, but I think that's right. I don't think it's 50. And I said, okay. I said, because if you spent $3,000 on Facebook ads for buyers, you would have 1,000 leads, right? Every month. If you had 1,000 leads every month, that would be pretty good. You'd have, she has a buyer's agents. They know what they're doing. And just to kind of prove that, or give you a little more substance, this is a company, and this is going to be helpful for you to understand, because your goal, what's the problem here, is to find buyers, right? And I set up a company in North and South Carolina. It's a team account. It's active. For Keller Williams, they have what they call an expansion team, which means that they have teams in multiple offices. They have agents in multiple offices in both North and South Carolina. So this guy, Nick, his job is to get buyer leads to them. And so we set up an account, and he just takes the listings from the offices and runs ads. He's been doing this since Halloween last year. So the end of October. So this is maybe 8 or 9 months old, this account. Every week he runs multiple ads. So he's run 362 ads, and he spends about $100 every ad. He has 11,000 buyer leads.
That he is split up and given to all of his realtors.
To the realtors in North and South Carolina, right?
Okay.
So this is you know, you can tell that for them, leads are costing maybe closer to 350 each, right? Something like that. But you can see here, and this is worth noting, leads don't always cost the same. Like this is North Carolina, North Carolina, North Carolina. They almost look the same, but these leads cost $4.19 each. These leads cost $3.04 each, $3.48. For some reason, this is $9 a lead, right? I don't know why, but that's just how Facebook
Sure.
works.
Sure.
But that's what, you know, when I say like $3 leads, this is what I'm kind of getting at. We analyze every quarter the tens and hundreds of thousands
Sure.
of dollars spent,
Sure.
and we can see, oh, it's $3, but in Carolina, it sounds like it's a little bit more expensive. And this is kind of something that you want to think of, because that, you know, if your goal is to get buyers, I cannot stress it enough. This is the way to get buyers. It's
Well, I think my goal is to get either buyer or seller like listings for my realtor partners. And if I'm providing that for them,
yeah,
they should be
yep,
directing people back to me. Otherwise, they lose their seat, basically.
exactly right. That's exactly how people look at it.
So what is I'm sorry to interrupt you. So you said it comes with five for 150. What if I go to 7? What if like how much is each after that?
I think there's 2 more tiers. So there's 5 for 150, 50 agents for 250, and 100 agents for 350. And really, to manage above 50 is pretty tough. I got only a couple of clients that do.
No, I don't have anywhere near 50 that I would even think to put on here. But
But
okay.
what lenders do is they'll start with 5. They'll really get the program organized. They'll know how they're gonna their process, and then they'll go do a lunch and learn and say, hey, you know, I've even had lenders. I used to work with a company called Marketplace Mortgage in Florida, and they would call me and they'd say, hey, we're in a Keller Williams office in Naples. Can you get them an office account? And we're going to assign one of our lenders to help them unlock the value of this platform, to help them do the things that are going to confuse the agents. You got to open house, you need a letter, you need a postcard. Let's use this platform to do it. And that we were setting up Keller offices all up and down Florida. And so, you know, there's different ways of operating, you know, with
So
it.
my realtor partner can log in with their stuff and they can pull flyers that they want. They can do that. I don't have to go and do it all the time. They can do it
Yeah,
themselves.
exactly. When you set them up, you will like you over here. I have an agents page. You can add the agent. And this is kind of different because this is not a lender. This is an expansion team. So these would be agent names, right? And
Mhm.
each agent, when you set them up, you put their name, and you don't have to put much, but you do need to put an email address. And once you save that, we send a welcome message. And they're like, oh, okay. And that's what I was saying earlier. Like this guy set up 5 agents and 2 logged in, because
Sure.
agents get like, I don't know, 200 emails every day. They don't even know what this is. That's why you have to say, hey, I've got something that's really awesome. I need to schedule some time with you. We'll talk about it. And
Is there an analytic on here that'll show me like if they're not using it so then I could bump them off and put somebody else on?
yeah, there's a couple right here. Last login
Okay.
is one, but that's a little bit of it's not super accurate, and that's because a lot a lot of things are emailed out automatically, so they can work in
Mhm.
some ways just from their email. But if they're
And I
really
can see how many leads they got from something.
you can right over here on the leads tab, it will say here are the leads, and if that agent has no leads, the agent name would be right here. You kind of know they're not using it,
Well,
right?
or if they're using it and they're getting a 500 leads, but they're not sending me any business.
Then you have that too.
Okay.
Yeah, you would know. But when you set up an agent, and this is, I think, really, really important, you will put their name, you will put their office, you will put their email address, and then there's these alternate emails. you should have your email address here. And you should say, I want to be copied on all leads and tools. Okay, now you could say, yeah, I would just tell you for a while to start this way. Because as we're sending tools out, you can say, hey, did you see that open house marketing toolkit you got? Did you see, you got this or that? And oh, I see you got buyer leads, or I see you got seller leads, right? Even though you're not going to get involved with seller leads, man, what a value that you're able to bring listing leads to an agent, right?
Yeah.
And that's a talking point for you, right? That's a touch point for you.
No, I agree. I agree with you. It's really, this would be a tool of value that I give my agent partners. So,
Exactly. And that's why you want
in
to be
return,
copied,
they,
because that's the trigger of more value, right? That you could be
okay,
discussing.
all right.
Yeah. Is that making sense? Kind of what we're doing here?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I'm gonna look at some of the training videos. I'll probably, um, start my trial next week and see, start working with, I just want to work with a little bit, invite some of my realtors, and then once I have some information, I'd like to go ahead and get some of the other loan officers in our office to, so I can say, this is what we've
Yeah.
done, this is what we've set up, this is what we see in return. So it'll be,
Yeah. And I'm showing you this page now. It's leadgenwebinars.com. I do live training every week. Top tools to
okay.
get more listings, get started,
Now
Facebook.
this is for realtors.
Correct.
Okay.
But you, as a lender, need to understand this, because this is what you're bringing to the table for a realtor.
Sure.
If
So I'm sorry. So is this a benefit? I would say, hey, there's a great webinar this Tuesday.
yeah,
Make sure you jump on it, and then
yeah,
telling the realtor to do that.
yeah.
For the ones that
That
I see actually diving into the system and using it. Okay.
I mean, our tools work right now in this market, right? And they've been working for years. And I've had clients, go from rookies making 5 million in production in a year, and go to 20 in 2 more years. And this one guy said 80% of my business comes from your system. I have a guy that just moved from, it was in that first 2020 COVID, moved to Texas with his family, starts using our tools, becomes a top listing agent. 2 years later, opens his own office in Texas. Right. I mean, it's just,
Great.
but that's for the people who are digging in and learning what can be done here. There's a lot that can be done. So lead gen webinars, live classes, you have a link in your email to this channel, which is every live class that I do is recorded, and it's right here. So if you don't want to sit here and listen to me yammer on, and you want to watch in the evening, just go right here and find out what we do. A lot here.
Okay.
And you do have a link to that, right?
Yeah, I did see it.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm gonna look into it over the weekend, and I'll play a couple videos and see. So but I think he
Yeah.
answered all my questions.
And if
I
you have
appreciate it.
questions, you've got my email. Just email me. I'm happy to answer. If we need to get on the phone, we can do that too.
All right, man.
All right.
Thanks for your time this morning, Mr. Vincent.
All right.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Thanks for your time, Norm. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend.
Thanks. Bye.